Hi, everyone, and welcome to this week's Down the Shore.
This week we'll be on the campus of Ocean County College in Toms River.
We're going to meet with a student-run organization called Studio Theater.
We'll be interviewing the actors and getting a behind-the-scenes look at their upcoming production.
So stay with us.
Gonna jump in my car, man, I'm gonna fly. I got to get away, just for a while. I'm gonna go for a ride, I'm gonna take my time. Maybe just for a day, I got to run away. And I'm never gonna cry no more, never gonna weep again. I'm gonna find that place in the sun. Man, you never see me cry. All that's in my past. I'm gonna find that place in the sun.
We're here with Allison. Now, which one-act play are you in?
I'm doing a play that's called Ferris Wheel.
Do you know who wrote it?
Mary Miller wrote the play.
And what's it about?
Well, it's about a girl that she's afraid of heights, and she likes to do something that actually her dad told her, to do something that frightens her at least once a year. So she comes on this ride thinking, maybe I'll be scared, I'm not sure, but she gets on and she's panicked from the start, and then this guy comes and sits next to her, and she doesn't know really what to do. He's obnoxious and everything, and she's just scared, and finally they get stuck up at the top on this ride, and she's just panicking. She just does not know what to do, and he pretty much tries to talk to her to try to come up, get her over her fear of heights and everything. And they get to know each other while they're up there, and then eventually they get down off the ride, and they say goodbye, and I think they do get together again next year.
Sure, that's so real life. That happens all the time. I do that and it never works. I try that, it just doesn't work for me. I had not a problem with this one. I don't know how you convey that feeling of being on a Ferris wheel without actually having a Ferris wheel. That's very hard for me in the theater. Is there any trick to doing that?
I guess you have to think of something that you really are scared of. Like I remember being on a ride where I think it was called the gravitational force, and you had to, the ride would go around and it would almost keep you attached to the wall, and you're like, wow, so I have to think of something that I was really scared of that ride, so I just have to think of that.
We were here, we did see that, and you mentioned that the one time before, and we were just on that ride in
oh, really?
In Seaside Lake not too long ago. I thought it was cool.
Oh, great.
I was afraid of it. Okay, the concept of your character doing something once a year that's kind of scary to her, would you do that as a person?
Not really. I think just for her character, she'd want to do that. And like I said, the ride, I was really scared of that. So that would be something I'd do. But anything else, especially a Ferris wheel, I'd just go on.
Well,
no problem.
I can actually see the concept. I mean, if you do something that you're afraid of, first of all, you may not be afraid of it anymore. And then you may look at life differently. But I don't think I'm ready to skydive either. I don't think so. Is this your first time doing studio theater?
No, this is actually my third semester doing it. Last year, I was just doing backstage work. And the year before that, I was in Death. I was a vigilante. But this is the first time I've ever really had that many parts in anything I've ever done. So I'm excited about it. I'm looking forward to it.
In high school, did you have any acting?
Yeah, I did high school plays, but I was mainly in the chorus, so I was just doing singing with everybody else, and it wasn't...
Just like me, I was in the band.
Yeah, that's what I did too. Yeah, marching band.
No lines, no nothing, just in the band. I couldn't even sing.
Really?
So we have something in common. You were in band and I was in band.
That's right, yeah.
So what band were you in?
Lakewood High School Marching Band.
And do you still live in Lakewood?
Yes, I do.
Oh,
Yes,
good.
I
She's
do.
in our viewing area.
Yes.
Don't forget to watch us on Wednesday nights at 8 o'clock.
Yes, I definitely will.
All right, now I have one more question before we go. Who is in the play with you?
His name is Ruben. He plays the part of John in the play.
And maybe we'll meet him a little later.
Okay.
Thank you, Allison.
You're welcome.
And good luck.
Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Excuse me. Oh. Excuse me. Hold on, like, proud of you.
No.
You know, I would have taken another seat, but the line's much too long to let anyone ride by themselves. They force you to be a couple whether you want to or not. I mean, not that I mind. I mean, it's a pleasure. You comfortable?
I'm fine. Oops! Oh my God, Rob!
You okay?
I'm fine.
You sure?
I couldn't be better.
You're not looking.
Heights, I'm frightened of heights.
Are you riding a Ferris wheel?
Just once a year, on my birthday.
Oh, happy birthday!
Thank you.
You're welcome. Wow, your knuckles are turning white. Sure this is good for your circulation?
What doesn't kill me makes me stronger type of thing.
Oh, so you do this in lieu of a birthday party with cake and ice cream.
I have that too when I get through, like a reward.
But you go through this first.
My daddy started and I keep it up.
What's Frightened Heights?
No, just believe that you should do something that frightens you at least once a year. It builds character. It strengthens moral fiber. You know, you ought to try it sometime.
I'd like you to play, Allison, I'd like you to play more with a different kind of hand. Facially. What you've got going emotionally is good, and I think if you increase the volume, that'll help. But a lot of what you're doing is like gritted teeth, squinted eyes panic. And I'd like you to try just the opposite approach. Wide-eyed panic. It's just more animated. I think it'll play better to the back of the room. And I just think it'll be more fun for you as an actress, rather. I mean, there are spots where you can do this too, but for the most part, you know, like any time the car jerks, it should be, oh, is that? Oh my God! You ride Ferris wheels? The heights bother you?
No. Someone trying to climb it.
I can relate to this individual. I'm afraid of heights, and I avoided Ferris wheels my entire life because of that. You know, and I can remember being on it and just praying that the car wouldn't rock. And the worst part was when they were letting people on or letting people off, because every time they pull that gear and stop, the car rocks.
I just don't like the cars that go like across like the park or something. It's just that one car and you're just hanging like it's like
Yeah, you see that hanging on that cable and.
cable cars.
Okay, so try a different kind of panic, or mix it up a little. Just something for you to experiment with. Make the lung story as disgusting as you possibly can. Okay? I know you were looking for lines and things, but you really make it a disgusting story. That's why he doesn't smoke a cigarette. So really make it big, black. Embellish it. Give it sound effects if you want, but really make it just the most nauseating thing you've ever seen. Ruben, the whole thing about the knee, my knee. Yeah. Pull it up to your chest. I'm trying to think of things that I can get you to do that would make the car move, that will panic her. And that's a good one. You know, my knee usually locks up, but it doesn't. Look, I can do this. Yeah, exactly. You know, and the whole car would go, whoa. And, you know, and we need to work out. I don't get the sense that you're really in a Ferris wheel car yet, but we need to work that out. And you guys just need to synchronize those sort of activities. Obviously, we can't get chairs that would move. I don't think that's going to happen. Pretty much going to have what you're sitting on. So it's something similar, maybe a bench. Although I think something with a back support would be better for you guys, right? Than just a bench.
Yeah. I mean, these move back though. It's good though.
There is
Just
flexibility there, yeah. Okay. Also, I'd like to have the chairs right next to each other so that you guys are like actually, because they really cram into those cars. You know, they're not big cars. Okay, and that might even help you in terms of synchronization. You know, just tap your knees together and you know whatever works for you. It's just an idea.
Speaking of Ruben, this is Ruben Castillo? Castillo. I've only known him for like 7 years. Which one act are you in for this year's production?
I'm in two acts. I'm in Ferris Wheel, written by Miriam Miller, and I'm also in the Italian soap opera, which was written by Jerome Lockwood.
Okay, now what do you play in the Italian soap opera?
In the Italian soap opera, I am translator. Everyone's line is in Italian, and I just translate all the lines. Pretty easy.
Pretty easy role. Big part?
Yeah, every other line is his.
Okay. And are you wearing a dress? Because he, I don't know, for those of you who don't know, Ruben is very famous for wearing a dress in Dessert Theater, which this used to be.
Yes.
Studio Theater used to be called Dessert Theater, and he always had to wear a dress. So you're not wearing a dress
3
this
times.
year?
No. Very normal this time.
Not even for the Ferris wheel?
Not even Ferris wheel.
So what part do you play for the Ferris
I'm
wheel?
John. He's a traveling salesman in New York, and he's just passing through, and he sees a Ferris wheel, and he just gets on the Ferris wheel, and he's next to this like country kind of chick, you know, and she's like completely nervous about going on the ride. She's panic stricken. She doesn't like heights, and John's a smoker, and he decides he's gonna go smoking while he's on the ride. He's stuck on the ride. So he's going through a Nick fit, pretty much.
Oh, okay, so she's scared to death and you're going through a nicotine addiction.
Yeah.
Sounds like fun.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
How long do you guys get to rehearse before the production actually goes on?
We rehearse about 13 or 14 weeks, once a week.
Oh, you want to do it once a week?
So we got the rest of the week to learn lines, pretty much. Or to get together with our partners and, see what happens.
So how do you learn your lines? You've done a lot of acting, so how do you, I've seen you in a lot of things.
Well,
So how do you go about when you get your script? What do? You just learn your lines?
I
or-
learn both lines. I speak both lines. I do both characters, or how many ever characters.
If there are 4 characters,
There are 4
you're
characters.
basically
I
going to
go
learn.
into all the different voices of the characters and mannerisms, and then pretty much I just every week, at rehearsal, I may skip a line or 2 here or there, but I relearn it just like I'm.
Are you just learning the cue lines though? Is that?
No, I learned their actual lines, so I can perform the show myself.
So that'll help you if an actor forgets a line,
Right.
where you can say, oh, okay, he was supposed to say this.
Or
you can kind
ad-lib,
of jump in
yeah.
and ad-lib something, like you ad-lib Tubba Bubba.
Right.
Right.
It's not in the script.
It's not in the script. Oh, we didn't think so. But that's a funny line, so you put it in. So does Mike give you the freedom and just to do that? I mean, how much can you do that?
When Dessert Theater, when it used to be called Dessert Theater, I used to do it a lot. I don't know if you remember, all the time.
Yeah, I think
there
it was
was just a
open
lot of
to
time.
it.
There's sometimes when actors forget their lines, and you really, or a piece of scenery is missing, or
Or a prop.
or a prop, or even the sound effects is missing. I remember we were doing a play, and all of a sudden there was supposed to be a telephone ring, and there was no telephone ring, and yet.
Oh, was that for the doctor?
The doctor was seeing
now.
now. We were running around the stage and waiting for the phone to ring, and finally I said, oh, look, I forgot to turn on my ringer.
I remember that, 'cause, yeah, I saw that, I remember that.
It
Right.
worked really well. I mean, we saw a little red lights flashing. So.
I remember the time with Nick and the gun wouldn't you remember Sister Mary?
I never
When
saw
he
that.
was playing the nun, you didn't get to see that one?
Not before my
Well, he was supposed to shoot the one guy, and the gun wouldn't go off, so he finally karate chopped him. And he went, he's dead, you can trust me, he's dead. Well, the audience just busted out laughing, because you knew it wasn't, you knew it wasn't supposed to be there. The gun was supposed to go off.
And there's so many times when it actually happens to an actor, like a wig falls off, or somebody's clothes falls off. I don't want to get into
That was Dave.
That was Dave.
That was Dave, got his
Piece of
pants pulled
history,
down.
got his pants pulled
What
down.
was that from? I can't remember.
That was part of my
was-
Inquisition.
Part of the Inquisition, when it was still Dessert Theater.
Yeah.
He had to have his, you pulled his pants down.
Pretty much.
He pulled his pants down and pulled them way off.
Yeah, way off.
Well, didn't you have his underwear rigged or something?
It was all rigged up with safety pins, and
Poor Dave.
I guess I got a little too into character, and I ripped his clothes off practically.
Well, he became very popular after that, so
Yeah.
it worked for him.
So it wasn't a pretty sight for me at all.
Let's say you were
I was
sitting right in front of him.
yeah, pretty much.
That's too funny, I forgot about
No
this.
problem. And there was another incident where my hairpiece fell out of my hair. It was pulled off my hair, actually. That was Times Square Angel.
Okay.
And I had a hairpiece. My hair
I was in there.
long. And my hair was long, and I had a hairpiece attached to it. And all of a sudden, I feel it snip, and boom, it goes right on the ground. And me and the person playing opposite me, it was just lying on the ground. We didn't know what to do, and I picked it up, and I was like, oh, it's chemotherapy, And I put it back in my hair,
But see, I never had a problem with forgetting my lines, because I only usually had 2. So I never usually forgot them. So I was pretty good at that. Well, thank you for your time, sir.
It's a pleasure.
It was good to see you.
I see you too. Bye.
Veramente non ho fame. Anzi, ho perduto il mio appetite.
Actually, I'm not hungry. I have, in fact, lost my appetite.
Cosa vuol dire, Carlo?
What do you mean, Carlo?
Ho imparato una cosa oggi che mi ha torcilato lo stomaco!
I have learned something today that has twisted my stomach.
Mi dispiace tanto. Era un affare tanto male?
I'm sorry. Was it a bad business deal?
Sì, vorrebbe dire un affare pessimo.
You might say that. A very bad business deal.
Mi dispiace.
I'm sorry.
Non così dispracciuto come sarà poco!
Not as sorry as you will soon be.
Carlo, posso offrirti un bevanda?
Hey, Carlo, can I get you a drink?
Basta, basta, basta con questo agocco!
Enough of this game.
Carlo!
Carlo,
So tutto, tutto, tutto!
I know everything.
We're here with Summer and Renee, right? All right, and which one actor you in?
We're in the Italian soap opera.
Okay, so what part do you play? Tell us a little bit about it. What's it about?
It's a comedy about Italian. She is an adulteress.
An adulteress.
No, yeah.
Okay.
So she cheats on her husband.
You haven't
He finds
found
out.
I wish
He's
the
real
rules
mad.
like this somehow, I don't know why.
one? Who's the husband, Vinny?
No, Bill Shropshire.
Okay.
He can come in the super there.
He's
You'll see
over
him
there.
later.
We'll see
Next
Bill
week.
later in the next interview.
Yeah, I cheat on him with my hairdresser, who is the former boyfriend of my maid. And my husband finds out, shoots me, and then it's translated
Everybody
into
dies.
English, so I shoot the interpreter also, and we all die. And
There's
then
an interpreter.
there's interpreters.
Why? It's all in.
It's all in Italian.
It's all in Italian. There's no English at all.
No,
No.
except for what the translator says.
Right.
Okay.
He translates our Italian into English.
Who's the translator?
Ruben Castillo.
Oh, okay. Well,
Yeah, and he has like really broken English, and he translates it from Italian into English.
Are you in any of the other one acts? Or is this
Yeah,
all one of you?
I'm in that Midnight Rodeo with Vin Pashana.
And what's that about?
It's about, oh, I don't want to tell you what it's about. Because it's a secret. Because in the beginning you think it's
Secret?
about one thing and it ends up,
All right, tell us what we think it's about.
okay, you think it's about Rudy and Reese.
That's a good answer.
Yeah,
That's a
there
good
you
question.
go.
Initially, I don't know what everybody thinks it is, because when I read it, I had no clue, but, I think everybody thinks it's about, first it's about winning a rodeo competition, and I think some people think it's about going to the dentist, but it's,
Okay.
I don't know, it's kind of hard to explain without telling you what it's really about.
Okay, yeah, we don't want you to.
Yeah, I don't want to give it away, no.
So,
I already told you the ending of the Italian one. You can't get
Yeah.
everything.
you told us the ending, but you told us it anyway, because
Yeah,
it'll
because
be
it's
good.
funny the way that it's done.
Are you in any other?
No,
other one
just
acts?
in this, yeah.
Is
I'm
this your
just-
first studio theater?
No, I did Death. I was in Death. I was
Death.
replaced.
Did I see
First
that?
one.
I don't know if I saw that.
Death by Woody Allen.
Woody
It was
Allen.
a comedy.
No, I don't know if I saw that.
That's okay, I messed up and I don't know what you say it.
Okay, you don't want to see
I
that.
forgot the line.
You forgot a line?
Yeah,
Did the
it's
other
very
actors help you out?
embarrassing.
Well, that's what the other actors are there for, too,
I
to help
think
you
I got kind
out.
of mad. Yeah, I wasn't too happy about it.
Oh, really?
But I don't know if I can't even remember if it was my fault at the time. I felt like someone forgot a line and I was supposed to like pick up that they forgot it and I couldn't, like I didn't realize what I was doing, so I messed up.
So did it throw the whole thing off, or?
It
Just a
like
little
gave it a
mistake.
pause and like too much of a pause, but then like someone jumped in and like it kept going. But it was still good overall. I wasn't that about that, but it happened.
Well, hopefully it won't happen next week. All right, well, thanks for your time. Thank you, Renee. Bye.
You're welcome.
Do you remember that mayonnaise jar we buried in the backyard behind the fireplace? You remember that? That's what, over 20 years ago? I was trying to remember what we put in there. Like a time capsule, that's what we called it. We stuck some stuff in there from around the house so that when they dug it up sometime, like sometime in the future, there'd be this stuff to remember us. And it was behind the fireplace. Oh, not, the barbecue. That's it, behind the barbecue. You remember that? Anyway, Ma says the other night that some dog was digging back there, and I thought of it. And some stray, probably roaming the neighborhood digging, and I was wondering, like, could he be, like, smelling that job? I mean, like, after all these years, could he be like...
We're here with Bill. Nice to meet you, Bill.
Hi.
And you were in what part of this production?
Bowl of Soup, and I'm also an Italian soap opera.
Okay, we already talked to some people about the Italian soap opera, so
Right.
tell us a little bit about
Bowl of Soup.
Tell me about it.
Well, it's about a bowl of soup. There's two brothers who are estranged, and the one brother, who is a New York tile salesman, goes to console his brother after he's lost his lover who's died of AIDS. And the play revolves around the brother, my part, Eddie, trying to get Rob to talk. Rob doesn't really say a whole lot, and towards the end there it gets very emotional. And Eddie tries to do whatever he can to see that Rob can go to see the body and console the parents. It's not a whole lot of laughs in this one.
Yeah, it was very-
We open up the 5-1X, so yeah, not a whole lot of laughs in
Well, I
this.
thought it was neat how, because I really, when it opened, didn't know what it was about. So it was neat how it progressed to what it was about. Like,
Yeah.
I had no idea.
Yeah, it's kind of, there's a lot going on in there, and hopefully we'll portray that to the audience, and they can...
Was it hard for you to learn all that dialogue? Like, how many pages of dialogue? You like
I
carrying
have
this the whole
5
thing.
pages of dialogue, yeah. Yeah, it is. And Mike was impressed, the director, that I've gotten my lines down. But it's kind of, when you have that much dialogue, you can kind of, if you lose something, you can do a little improvisation and nobody really knows, because
Right.
no other actors are keyed in on what you're saying.
Right.
So
Like, I didn't know if you
I
had to
can
say,
fake it.
like something so many times. I forget what line it was, but like this and like this and
yeah,
like...
well, he's a tile salesman from New York, so like, he's always going like this, like that, like this, That's, yeah, that's...
But it was good. Well, from us all, it was very good.
Oh, thanks.
How long have you been doing any kind of acting? Like, you're formal training?
Since high school, yeah. This is my second time with studio theater. I did the last show, Line, and I've acted over in the larger OCC theater, and I've done some community theater and stuff like that. Yeah, it's like a hobby.
We already talked to Summer and Renee, who are in the Italian soap opera. I understand you're in it also. What part do you play?
Right, I play Carlo, the husband of Rosa.
Rosa
a
is
slut.
the one who's having the affair?
The one that's having the affair, yeah.
And listening
With
to it,
Tony.
it sounds like a real soap opera.
It's pretty funny. Just saying the lines in Italian is going to be funny enough, but yeah, Carlo knows that Rose is cheating on him, and he gets very upset because he's a gangster type mafia. Not that we want to put anything on the Italians and to typecast them, stereotype them, but he finds that his wife is cheating on him, and he takes action.
Ah,
He's a man of action.
Of course.
He was a former bocce ball champ.
No, that's a real take action kind of guy.
Yeah, he's a take action kind of guy, the former bocce ball champ, Carlo.
Now let me ask you, you have to say this in Italian.
Yes.
Has someone been teach you in Italian? Did you have to learn how to
Yes,
spell?
in fact, we got an Italian woman, when in Rome, get a Roman. We got a Roman woman, believe it or not, to come over here and kind of coach us a little bit on our Italian. And in fact, she figured out that some of the lines in the initial script were Italian/Spanish. So she was upset. She's going, "This is not even Italian over here. What are you doing?" So she changed some of the lines so that no Italians will be offended when they see this show.
Well, okay, so where did the Italian lines come from? Like, was it the script?
Well, it was the play was originally done by Long Branch High School theater group, and they have a very good theater group at Long Branch High School. And whether some of these kids were like staying up late at night, and some had taken Spanish, and some had taken Italian, it wasn't all Italian. There was a little like Italian Spanish in there. So she was reading some of the script. She didn't know what we were talking about, so she changed and modified it, and she's coached us a little bit.
Good.
So hopefully those Italians are going to understand exactly what we're talking about.
Well,
But there's a translator just in case.
Yeah, well, that's a good thing for me because I don't know Italian.
Right,
So
right.
that would make it much more interesting for me.
Right, and then the translator's very funny.
Yeah,
And,
oh,
and he
wow.
gets his in the end too, don't you? Yeah.
I hope so because it's Ruben and we all know Ruben.
Yeah.
Well, Bill, thank you for your time.
Okay, thank you.
Good luck and
All right,
everything.
thanks.
I'm a dog! I'm a dog!
you Rottweiler, you Shepherds, you Labradors. Up yours, you pachyderms, you raptors, you primates. Oh, you can cut off my balls, but I'm still a dog.
Ah, the Call of the Wild. Are you finished yet?
Cousin to the wolf, brother to the jackal, helpmate to the Homo sapiens.
Oh my God.
I'm a man, and you are mine.
You're nuts. Never ate a dog before. Had a pig once. It was a bad year. I'm not afraid of you.
Hey, what are you doing up a tree?
It's called instinct. You wouldn't know anything about that.
Very funny. What I lack in instinct, I make up for in finesse. They're coming for you.
Who? Who's that?
I don't know, some guys got called.
Who called them?
The one I belong to, who belongs to me. Fish gotta swim, birds gotta fly, I gotta love one man till I die. She has nipples. And facials.
That explains the ribbon. You guys have a curious thing with these humans. I bet you got a name!
What's it tell you?
Okay, I'm here with Jim, right? How you doing, Jim?
There.
All right, so which one actor are you in?
A duet for Bear and Dog.
And what's that about?
Bear and Dog.
A bear and a dog. And you play the bear or do you play the dog?
Dog.
You play the dog?
Definitely the dog, yes.
Okay, and does the dog actually have speaking lines or do you
Yes.
just do a lot of barking?
Both.
Okay. All right, so what's the premise behind the bear and the dog? What's the storyline?
Well, seems as how the bear has treated this, the dog has treated this bear, and we're quite proud of himself for this major undertaking. And he does not get proper credit for it. And coming to get the bear, and leaving him kind of in the lurch. Not good. Not good.
Not good.
That's really about it.
That's the whole storyline.
Pretty much.
So are you actually going to dress up like a dog?
A little bit, just a hint, just enough to get the idea across and that sort of thing. I'll be a dog, but with, human characteristics. And, we'll also talk about some of the dog things as well as bear things. Diet and that sort of thing.
Diet?
Diet, yes.
Dog diet.
Being a lap dog, I don't do garbage.
I don't have a
Some
dog.
do, but I don't.
You don't? Okay. Well, that's good.
Particularly fond of raspberries.
Oh, yeah. The dog or you?
Well, both, actually.
The bear gonna actually climb up a tree, a real tree.
I got chase right up there. Yeah, oh yeah.
But what are you gonna use for a tree?
Through the ladder.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay, so it's imagination.
A little imagination.
So who's gonna be on the top of this ladder?
Bear.
Who plays the bear?
My friend over there.
Oh, this one plays the bear. Okay. We'll interview the bear next. Okay.
Yeah, getting ready for the winter, hibernating and all that.
Oh, and he gets caught by you.
Yeah, yeah.
So I guess you're supposed to be with hunters and, is that?
I'm operating all on my own, And,
Oh, okay.
just to find this stray bear and, doesn't belong there. Gotta get rid of it.
Very important.
No. We need a bear-free environment.
So is this your first studio theater?
No, I did Line last spring. That was fun as well. That was a good show. Several of us in the various pieces here were in that as well.
Yeah, a lot of people come back
Right.
year after year while they're at the college. Which is a good thing.
Yeah.
Have you done any community theater or
Oh, yeah.
what have you done besides studio theater? Have you done anything at the big theater?
Yeah, oh, yeah.
On campus? What have you done there?
Well, most recently, I had a very, huge part in the Inspector Calls.
You're the inspector?
Maybe the next show they'll give me a line.
Oh, okay, oh, one of those huge parts, yeah. You had a walk-on?
Yeah, well, so to speak, yeah.
Joe knows those real well.
Yeah, I know this real well. Thank you for mentioning it.
You know, I've done inspector calls, and Sisters Rosen's one, some others. No, I've been dabbling since decades ago. That many, you know. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it a lot.
It was a lot of fun.
Oh, it is. It's a lot of fun, yeah.
Well, I want to thank you for your time.
Well, thank you. Thank you.
Okay, Joe interviewed the dog, Jim. Now I'm going to interview the bear, Patience. Now, what is the exact title of the play?
Duet for bear and dog and bear.
Bear and dog, dog and bear,
Something
what about
like
that? They're interchangeable. And you play the bear.
I'm the bear.
Now, do you speak?
Yes, I speak with the dog. Nobody else can hear us. We can hear each other, we can hear the other people talking, but they can't hear us.
It's almost like an animated thing.
It is animated, that's exactly what it is, and our characters are portrayed as cartoons.
Okay.
So it's kind of neat.
So what are you doing as the bear? I mean, what's entailed?
I'm a bear up a tree.
Bear up a tree sounds like a big problem.
The dog treed me.
I heard that term, dog treed me. I'm thinking, treed you. Okay, it took me a second. And that's the actual proper term.
Right, yeah, you treat him, got him up a tree.
Got him up
That's
a
what the
tree.
hunters call it.
Right,
treed.
right.
So.
Now, I thought that was interesting because I still have trouble when I was talking to them when they were doing the first wheel thing. My imagination is lacking. And I said, how do you convey, I always have to ask Allison how she conveyed the fact that she was on a Ferris wheel, because you can't actually make a Ferris wheel, I
It's
think.
mind over matter, you get the audience to believe it like a mime.
Right.
Because like you make an audience believe he's going through a door or something, that's what it is.
So you have to be like you're climbing up a tree.
Yeah.
Now, what are you going to use for that? A ladder. A ladder. Okay. I was just curious.
Improvise.
You're going to be in comfortable shoes and everything, I trust.
I'm probably actually not even going to wear shoes.
You're going to be dressed more like a bear?
No, I mean, a little bit, but I'm going to be in like just regular street clothes, just brown, to prove the bear thing, the
Right.
brown bear. I'm not going to walk in something purple and that guy go, yeah, these are brown bears, man, they're very docile. The people will be like, whatever.
You're like a teddy bear having my bed. It's
Right.
purple, you know? It's,
Next thing he needs is polka dots.
And that's not real life, from what I can say, I realize
yeah,
that,
kind of.
right? So is this kind of a comedy?
Oh yeah, it's very much so. It's
So,
very funny.
So now there's 5 productions.
Yes,
right?
5 one acts.
Now there's 2 comedies,
Yes.
and the other 3 more of a serious nature.
Well, Bowl of Soup is a very serious piece. Midnight Rodeo is a very serious piece. Ferris Wheel is a back and forth piece, right? And then Duet for Bear and Dog and the Italian soap opera are hysterical. They're totally hysterical.
Now, we've gone through and asked everybody, like, when you get your lines, how do you go about learning your lines?
See, I'm weird. My biggest good thing about me during education was being able to memorize. Never understood anything in biology or anything else. I just memorized.
Oh, I did the same thing when I was in
Yeah.
school.
Mhm. So the memorizing lines isn't really that hard, and it's easy when you play off people who know their lines as well, because you're going to get the same cue each time, which is kind of like your blanket, your security. So, and the cast I work with, especially Jim, because him and I feed most of our lines, Jim's amazing. He knows all of his lines flat.
And that helps a
So,
lot.
oh God, yeah. Oh God, yeah. We tried a rehearsal one day when he wasn't here, when he was rehearsing for the other play he's in at the community theater, and this other guy was playing in for him, and I couldn't pick up a cue from this guy. Someone paid me to, because it, like, you know, you're used to getting a cue from one person.
Right.
So I can't imagine the people who do the big plays and when they have to do like a stand-in, you know, an understudy comes in, because I don't know if I could do that. You know, nobody could play it like Jim.
Okay, thanks for your time, Patience.
No, thank
and
you.
good luck.
Thanks.
Well, that's all the time we have for this week's show.
We hope you enjoyed visiting with the actors from Studio Theater.
Join us next week when we're going to be showing you our blooper show. We're going to show you all the mistakes and goof-ups that we made during our first season.
So see you next week. Bye.
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 Nobody wants to say the first goodbye.